Hey, it's me, Professional Bike Crasher, and in this video I'll be answering the question, can you beat Elden Ring as a Tree Sentinel? This run has been requested a couple of times and I was very excited to do this run. So what are the rules? Well, I can only use the Tree Sentinel armor set, golden halberd and Earth Tree great shield. I was considering allowing myself to use the Draconic Tree Sentinel set but decided not to. I mean, I could always do a separate run for that set, but I don't know, we'll see. Also, all Tree Sentinels are on a horse, but for the sake of this run I'll just be doing it on foot. This run will be done in new game and I promise you all it won't be as messy as the last time. Okay, let's quit wasting time and start a new game. Starting with the character base selection, I had no clue which class I wanted to take and in the end chose the Wretch class because it seemed most fitting for a challenge run. I didn't do a lot of customization, I simply changed my name and reused my first ever created character, Walmart GigaChat. I ran past the grafted sign and wasn't allowed to fight the soldier of Godrick, because of course first I had to get the Tree Sentinel gear. I was dead set on getting the golden halberd first, just so I could at least start fighting if the other pieces of the build were harder to get. And because I suck at this game, I first farmed a bit so I would have the confidence to fight the Tree Sentinel. I leveled myself till I was able to equip the golden halberd and now it was time to fight this loser. And yeah, because I was technically not allowed to fight, I had to temporarily break one rule. That's part of the reason why I chose the Wretched class. I thought fighting with a club would be a lot more fair. And let's just say that my first attempt was the most painful one. I mean, look at his health bar. How could you do this to me? I got him on my third try, but damn, did that first attempt already made me extremely tilted. But then I remembered what a wise man once said.
Tough time never lasts. Only tough people last.
This motivated me to continue and get the rest of the set. Next up, the Tree Sentinel armor set, and I found something new that I completely hate. These chariots. Eventually I did get the armor set, but holy shit, this took way longer than necessary. While trying to get the Earth Tree great shield, I noticed something. And that is that this armor is heavy as f. I started fat rolling trying to dodge these Tree Sentinels and I just died. A few times even. I don't know why I kept trying. Well, farming it is. If I can believe this build planner, I need 49 endurance to put me on medium build while wearing the whole Tree Sentinel equipment set. So I farmed till my endurance was level 43 and equipped the Radagon sword seal to boost my endurance to 47. This was good enough for now. I mean, damn, I had to level 80 to be able to wear this all effectively. And to make myself even more overpowered, I upgraded my halberd to +4. I don't know why. That being said, the idea wasn't to literally annihilate the early game bosses. It was to ensure that I could get the Earth Tree great shield. And here we are at the 2 Tree Sentinels. After some experimenting and dying, I found a pretty good cheese strat to kill them. I could get them sort of stuck at the side of the staircase, and because the halberd is pretty long, I could just hit them over the railing. This wasn't really fail proof though. I got hit many times, but eventually I did get them, and the Earth Tree great shield was now mine. Thanks to the shield, my equip load went back to heavy load. That's why I got the +1 arsenal charm. But because I could only equip one talisman at this moment, I would have to fight Margit without the shield. And that's exactly what I was about to do. Margit's fight was pretty one-sided. I did a lot of damage and he did almost no damage. Hey, don't look at me. It's not my fault my equipment is so extremely heavy. But yeah. Margit down, first try. It felt more like a random NPC fight than a boss fight. But let's just move on. Time for Godrick, and Godrick's fight is usually way easier than Margit, and now with the addition of the Earth Tree Great Shield, Godrick became a cakewalk. In Godrick's defense, I did have to use my Estus Flask twice, while with Margit I didn't even use one Estus Flask. So good on you, Godrick, I'm proud of you. Smiley face. As you know, the Doggo is literally just a regular enemy, not even a boss. I did come to the conclusion that this armor is pretty strong. I mean, it has to be with an almost level 50 endurance requirement. And a lot of attacks can be blocked with the shield, which is also very strong. I did start doing jump attacks because, well, it does more damage. After a pretty short fight, thanks to being over leveled and small health pool, the dog went down. Before Rennala, I of course had to follow traditions, aka Moongrum. Yep, And there he goes again. Rennala was very easy. Again, I'm probably way too overleveled for early game bosses. Was starting to think that a New Game Plus run might have been a better choice for this run, just to amp up the difficulty. But it's too late for that now. Her first phase was nothing special, and the second phase could have been over a bit sooner, but she summoned her Bloodhound just in time, so that I couldn't hit her. Nevertheless, Rennala down. I got a few golden seeds and upgraded my weapons for 2 levels. Yeah, I know it's a bit overkill, but it was about to get a bit harder. Just a little bit though. I just wanted to say that I didn't farm for levels anymore. If I farmed, it was for upgrades. I used the dropped runes from bosses to level, and I put these in figure. Late game I did start putting levels into strength, but we're not there yet. We've arrived at the Draconic Tree Sentinel, and I'm happy to announce that this was the first boss that was able to kill me. I still got him on my second try. After rewatching the footage, I think the Draconic Tree Sentinel is a pretty balanced boss. Windows to attack are very noticeable and fair. He doesn't spam attacks or anything. I mean, when he slams the ground, it depends on your position if he does a quick follow-up attack. However, if you dodge that attack, he has an opening where you can just get a free hit in. Also, while editing this, I just thought that Golden Retaliation might be useful for the fireballs. But do you think I even thought of that? To be honest, I'm not even sure if it works on the fireballs. So yeah, Draconic Tree Sentinel down after 2 tries. Let's continue. Here we are at my favorite joke. I mean favorite boss, of course. Note, definitely not my favorite boss, but probably the most boring boss of the game. Shiny Godfrey. Yeah, I got him first try. I don't even know what to add. It's just a very easy boss. And this shield blocks literally all of his attacks, except him kicking the rocks out of the ground, of course. But yeah, let's just move on to the next boss. Damn, and she isn't even a boss I had to fight. It's time for Mr. Feed. I wanted to do another feed meme thingy, but that would be a bit too repetitive, so I'll save that one for a later video. Morgott is a boss that's not that difficult, but also a bit difficult. I just suck at dodging most attacks, and he's pretty fast. Luckily, I was built like a literal tank, so he couldn't just one-shot me. And seriously, if you're having a hard time with Elden Ring, I recommend using a shield. Shields are pretty good. The Earth Tree Great Shield is able to block a lot of damage. Morgott has a lot of openings, most during his spear attacks. Just use any small pause that Morgott gives you, and boom, Morgott down on my second attempt. Fire Giant, the first boss that was actually pretty difficult. To be honest, I expected nothing less. I still kinda hate this fight. First phase was alright, not that bad. However, his second phase is extremely tedious. I just looked up what his holy absorption is, and it's only 20. Even Morgott's absorption is higher, but it feels like I'm literally just tickling the Fire Giant. These attempts took pretty long. I mean, what do you expect? I did only 200 damage per attack, and one time I got very close but got stun locked or something in the end. Yeah, thanks Torrent. After 7 tries, which almost all took around 10 minutes, I finally got him. Time for the Godskin Duo. However, this time I wasn't scared at all. Okay, maybe a little bit, but I was planning this fight from the beginning of this run. That's why personally the Earth Tree Great Shield is the most important part of this build, thanks to Golden Retaliation. And it works pretty good. Also, this Ash of War is extremely cheap, only 4 FP. I did try to play it fair and not abuse the Ash of War, but after dying a few times and wasting a lot of time, I started to get the last few golden seeds to upgrade my flask. So yeah, I eventually just only tried to use Golden Retaliation and only use it on the skinny one. But Mr. Big Mac wanted all the attention and kept running after me. Did I already mention that these attempts took extremely long? I literally have to wait or try to bait them to throw their balls. No, we're not done yet, because a lot of times I can't even use Golden Retaliation on the ball that the noble throws, because the apostle will simply just dodge it. There were also attempts, including the last one, where I accidentally got the noble to go into phase 2, each time triggering some kind of PTSD attack. Finally, I got them after 5 attempts. And you might say, oh, only 5 attempts? Yeah, the first 4 attempts took around 10 minutes, and the last attempt took 15 minutes. By the way, somber smithing stones are expensive as like what is this? Designer smithing stones or something? Made by Gucci? Like damn. Well, back to farming, I guess. After getting all the possible upgrades for my weapons, it was time for Maliketh. And honestly, I expected this to be the hardest boss of this run, which he indeed was. I mean, he has 80 holy absorption. That's the same as Radagon and Elden beast. I mean, almost all late game bosses are very resistant to holy damage. This is the only boss that took more than an hour to beat. A lot of these attempts were just me trying to find the openings in phase 1, and there are a few pauses in between attacks that can be used to get a free hit in. For example, he has a few wind-up attacks that are easy to spot, and I also learned that you definitely shouldn't get too greedy. Even though I usually died at phase 2, I still think it's the easier phase. Simply because sticking close to him is the best option to get hits in. Also realize that when he does his sort of standing still destined death attack, it's better to run to his side instead of dodging. Dodging just slows you down. There are still 2 attacks that I never see coming, which is why I get hit by them often. One is the destined death attack he does as a sort of quick follow-up attack, and the random 2 spins attack. Well, they are not that random, but I can seem to time them correctly with my dodge. Nonetheless, after a fight of around 1 hour and 10 minutes, I finally got Maliketh. Here we are at Gideon. Same as last time. This boss isn't necessarily difficult, just very annoying, just because he spams 200 spells at once. I don't know about the all-knowing part of his title. Mr. All-Knowing doesn't even know the difference between the living and the dead because he keeps spamming his attacks even though I don't have a pulse. Like, are you blind? I literally got spammed out of existence. Here, what are you aiming at, you dumbass? I tried to find out what the best approach would be to fighting him and quickly noticed that getting too close with his blue sword spell wasn't the best option. Golden Retaliation was a very good counter against his comets, but sadly that's the only spell. Believe me, I tried it on his holy rings, but that didn't work. I eventually also realized that heavy attacks were more effective than other attacks due to him staggering. He dodges a lot, but he apparently can't spam his dodging like he can with his magic. In the end, I got him. I again just looked at what his openings are, such as him casting Azur's Comet or his weird hand gesture thing. Damn, I really need to start learning these spell names. To be completely honest, I don't want to spend too much time on Hoarah Loux. He has seriously become one of the easiest bosses in the game. If you want my tips on how to defeat him, well, phase 1 is almost exactly the same as Shiny Godfrey, so just repeat what you did there and you'll get his first phase. And phase 2 is even easier. Just attack after he tries to grab you, and while he's not trying to grab you, simply keep running away. That's the most fail-proof tactic in my opinion. And boom, Hoarah Loux down. Radagon and Elden beast. I was actually really afraid of them. I saw their 80 holy absorption and thought that I was screwed. Well, apparently not. I got them on my second try, and the only reason I died the first time was because my brain is literally running Internet Explorer. Like, I didn't even try to dodge or anything. Also, thanks to the high endurance requirement for this build, my stamina was kinda crazy. I could just keep running away from Elden stars. Sure, some of the little stars hit me, but I just kept on running. However, it was still noticeable that I did a lot less damage, but it didn't hold me back. I defeated Elden Ring as a Tree Sentinel, minus the horse. I did feel kinda bad that this run wasn't necessarily hard or anything, but hey, blame the high equip load, not me. Still, it was pretty fun to do. At the end I was considering other talismans such as Jump Attack Talisman or Earth Tree Favor, but couldn't be bothered to be honest, but these were an option. So to answer the question, can you beat Elden Ring as a Tree Sentinel? Yes. You definitely can, and it was pretty easy as well, but that's mostly because of the high stats requirement to even be able to properly wear all the equipment. I'm kinda repeating myself, but okay. Early/mid game will be a cakewalk. It gets noticeably harder in the end game thanks to the holy resistance most bosses have, but it certainly is doable. I have a run in mind for the next video, which I'm pretty excited about, so subscribe with notifications on to not miss any new videos. So yeah, thanks for watching, like, subscribe, put notifications on, comment, whatever you want to do, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Our seed will look back upon us and recall an age of fracture.